Alrighty, what's up, everybody, to the Nerd and Weeb podcast. I'm the Weeb.
And I'm the nerd.
We are like half zombie right now, but we still have energy for this. we both stayed up way too late. But it was for a good reason. We now have a Discord for the Nerd and Weeb podcast specifically.
Ayo.
So we will be linking that in the description. So make sure you join in that
Discord, y'all. If you want to keep on with the discussions or just keep the topic rolling after we stop streaming.
Even if you have any topic ideas, you got you.
Yes. Nice place for the podcast listeners and everything to join and just kind of sit around, hang around, and talk to each other.
Exactly. And you know what? I'm coming off hot and heavy. We were talking about the gaming industry last week. We're continuing part 2 now. I'm gonna jump right in and send you a picture, sir, about the whole
Hopefully
Xbox and PlayStation. What is better from this gen? I'm still saying PlayStation 5. I know I was talking to my buddies earlier this week, and they're both just like, oh my god, Xbox is still better. They have better games. And I'm like, you know what? Nah. So I made a little picture, and I'm going to see if I can actually show this on screen right now, because y'all be bugging me about this. All right. So look at this. We got PS5 or Xbox Series X exclusives. We got Hi-Fi Rush, Flight Simulator, Redfall. We all know how well Redfall was. Then we've got Forza Horizon 5 and Halo Infinite. I've done so much searching on like Best Buy, GameStop. These are the only games that I see that are specifically exclusive to Xbox Series X. Now for the PS5, look what we got here on our wonderful list. We got Spider-Man Miles Morales plus the Spider-Man Remastered. We've got Stray, Gran Turismo 7, Horizon Forbidden West, Kenna Bridge of Spirits, a fantastic little small indie game, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, beautiful game, Sackboy Big Adventure, it's alright, God of War Ragnarok, beautiful, masterpiece, Forspoken, still not decided on if that's a good game or not, Demon Souls, and this isn't even to mention the ports of exclusives that are now on PS5, as like Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, Death Stranding Director's Cut, Last of Us Part 1. I didn't include those because they were technically last gen. They just got ported over. But these are specifically exclusive that can't have been released for PS5. So all you Xbox fans, come at me now, okay? And tell me that there are better exclusives on Xbox.
They can't.
They can't. They not. Okay? And we got Spider-Man 2 coming out, and that is where I just mic drop, okay? I was working on that before I went to bed. I'm like, I'm getting this done.
I am impressed, sir.
Thank you.
Hats off to you and onto my TV.
That is something I had to make a valid point on.
Well, and I know last week we were talking about, whether PlayStation is going to go the right way. Xbox definitely shot themselves in the foot with Redfall.
Yeah.
It's very interesting to not only see where they, what their goal is going to be by the end of this year, even because Redfall. That's all. That's all I have to fucking say.
It's okay, man. Don't cry. Don't cry. As all the Xbox Series X owners say, we have a stronger console. We have quick resume. Apparently that's enough to not have a lot of exclusives.
I don't know, man.
Everyone in the comments are going to just be like, excuse me, no, you're wrong.
I officially, that broke my brain. That breaks my heart.
What broke your heart? What specifically broke your heart?
Xbox fans. No. So like without like literally truly without any bias whatsoever, I really don't see how like it's the same thing for me, I guess. Is that like we're both hardcore PlayStation fans, you know what I mean? I'm just gonna straight up say that I've never really even bought an Xbox or given them a chance in my own perspective.
Yeah, I've been an Xbox like diehard fan up until I would say Xbox One X I owned. And then when they announced the PS5 and Xbox Series X, that's when PS5 won me over. It was the amount
I've
of
always
content
paid
that they
attention.
showed up.
I would always pay attention to like which one is, you know, gonna do better because like we were mentioning last week, I was very tempted to buy an Xbone for you know, Rise Son of Rome,
Yep.
Dead Rising 3, but there weren't, like you said, any exclusives that were polling to me saying, yo, you should buy this system because like you're not gonna be able to play this game otherwise.
Yeah. And
To me, I was like, that's fine.
and the problem I had with this list, like that picture that I made, I wasn't even like I was just like really searching for these PS5 games. I just went
Where
on.
are the narratives?
Yeah.
Where are the narratives, Xbox? Microsoft, where's your fucking billion-dollar company putting into the narratives, huh? Excuse me? Sorry, but that's a little bit fucking ridiculous. How can a company that you're like that your net worth is literally a fucking flex times 10 over your competitors and you still come up with something like Redfall? First of all,
Well, and not even.
second of all, it's like where like I'm being 100% serious, bro. PlayStation or like just Sony Studios in general. Fuck PlayStation, you know what I mean? You focus on Sony Interactive as a whole, right? Barred, no holds barred, better entertainment than what Microsoft has just been putting out.
When it's not even just the Redfall issue that I have, it's like I was saying, when I went on those sites like Best Buy, GameStop, my local game store, I wasn't even like hardcore searching for these games. I just went on. I went on the Xbox Series X. I went to new games, and those are the ones that I saw. I actually didn't even see Flight Simulator or Hi-Fi Rush. I had to actually look into the Game Pass, because I knew there was more exclusives than those three that I found. And then when I went to PS5 and I did like same thing, PS5, new games, that was all. Those are the first things that I saw the second I went onto the PlayStation's like library and was like, holy crap, okay, here are all their exclusives, bang, 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 up all of them. Didn't even have to like go and do a deep dive, whereas Xbox, I actually had to go into the Game Pass and do a deep dive and find Hi-Fi Rush and Flight Simulator because it's just in there.
Right.
And like as an Xbox as a whole, they have fantastic exclusives. They just don't have next gen ones. Like they haven't built a sequel for it. Like they have Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisp. That game is fantastic. I've played both of them.
They look
fantastic side scroller and beautiful. They also have State of Decay we talked about last week. The third one was announced, but where is it? It's been 3 years. Not a single update on it.
3 years since the announcement?
3 years since the announcement. It was announced. It was one of the games that they showcased when they did the Series X, and I haven't seen a single thing about it. And then you've got Gears of War. They ended the fifth game kind of with a cliffhanger. They didn't really resolve the story. Where's Gears of War 6? This is another main exclusive that they have. It seems like they've just kind of relied on Forza and Halo, and even Halo isn't even doing that good. Forza is doing fantastic. I will not trash Forza in any way. I love racing games.
Forza is definitely one of the better ones, I'd say.
Yeah.
It's a direct competitor with Gran Turismo, and I'd say
honestly,
that's a good thing to have
better.
going with them.
I would actually say it's better than Gran Turismo, and I love Gran Turismo.
I will give you that one too, because again, hardcore PlayStation fan, PlayStation Nation. But I really wish that you could do the things that you could do in Forza. You know what I mean? You could do engine swaps. You know what I mean? You could customize these all like whole different things. You know.
And I find the problem that people have with comparing Forza and comparing Gran Turismo is Gran Turismo is a real life racing simulator.
Mm-hmm.
It is basically kind of like a gateway to racing simulators to playing iRacing and Assetto Corsa Competizione.
F1
I wouldn't even,
racing. That
yeah,
fucking.
like
Oh, dude.
whereas Forza Motorsports, it's a realistic racing game, but it's not a simulator. And so it's really hard to compare Forza and Gran Turismo because they're two completely different games. Even Forza Motorsports, because there's Forza Motorsports and then Forza Horizon, where it's more of like a car show. And he's hacking his lungs out.
Had to go on mute. I didn't even take
But
that dabs.
that's fine. But yeah, like it's Forza Motorsports is killing it. Like I'm props to them because when they showed 5, yeah, for Forza Horizon, it was gorgeous. And I'm jealous that I can't play it. Like I could play it on my PC, but it takes up so much space.
Ah, yeah. Oh man, gotta get yourself some terabyte solid state drives there, buddy.
I have like 2 solid state drives and just a basic SSD, like external one.
Okay,
I have a lot of games on my computer.
bro. Yeah, because I have yeah. Wow. Okay.
But I know one thing that you wanted to talk about was microtransactions,
Yeah, I was about to say, is that like
the killer of the gaming industry.
I want to say, bro. I want to say that's kind of where it started going downhill. Was when
EA.
gaming companies, EA, yeah, let's be honest, Activision, all of that. You can't even just say that it was straight up EA too, because
It was
you,
EA abused it so badly with all the sports games, and it's like, hey, you
oh,
want this player? Buy a pack.
100%. Well, and like so, fucking 2K, Activision with Call of Duty, not only every year, but then selling you weapon and skin packs that are like $200 fucking throughout the season.
Yeah, you spend so much money on Call of Duty. Like, I don't think people realize that they should have been like season or not season pass, but yeah, season pass, like map packs. That was the best thing that they could have done for consumers. And everyone's like, "Oh, but
That
this is
part.
nice. We get free maps." I'm like, do you though? Because
You pay
you're
them another
paying so much money for
$60.
all these skins. Whereas if you bought a map pack, you get the gun right away. First off, you don't even have to worry about the battle pass and spending $20 every season for a battle pass. If you just bought the map pack, you'd have the maps and you have the gun. You don't have to worry about, oh shit, did I get the gun this season? And like, to be fair, you can unlock the gun after the season's over, but it is such a pain in the ass. It's like, get 5 headshots in a match 15 times or with this specific gun, and it's like, okay, well, no, I'm not gonna do that.
It's very much so set up in a predatory way, and it's not okay. Because yes, you can all like by all means, you know what I mean, cheat the system, quote unquote, right? If you consider it to be even cheating the system. Buy your 1,000 COD points, or even like Apex or Fortnite's, standpoint, 1,000 V-Bucks, the 1,000 Apex coins. Buy the first battle pass, and from the battle pass, you can continue to earn your free shit because they theoretically come with, the premium currency, V-Bucks, Apex coins, etc., etc.
But they know you're gonna buy other things.
Right. Because how are they gonna just leave you with 100 or 200 COD points? That is straight up like consumer mind 101. Like you have an excess or a fucking what's it called, surplus, you know what I mean, you're gonna spend it because you're like, fuck, what am I gonna do with 200 COD points? That's literally 20 cents, you know what I mean? You save the 20 cents or you add on top of it, you buy something nice.
And I find the best platform or the best game, I'd say, where microtransactions is a good thing is Fortnite. I'm not gonna lie, like a lot of people hate Fortnite. I love it. It's a lot of fun. It's chill. It's not it is stressful, but it's not as stressful as if you were to go and play Warzone or Apex, where more of the pro gamers are playing it.
Tryhards too, man.
Tryhards. Like, people sweat so much, and like I used to be one of those sweats on Apex and Warzone. I lost my touch once I went back to Fortnite. I became more of a sweat on Fortnite, Um, but I also you get used to the time to kill. But also with Fortnite, when you're buying a pack and you're buying a season, you're getting characters that you know. You're getting like Darth Vader. You're getting there's rumors that it's gonna be Optimus Prime. You get Spider Gwen. You get Spider Man. You get Aquaman.
There's a lot
Batman.
of dope collabs and
Like there's
contract
there's so
deals that they
many,
had.
and especially anime collabs. I love it. Dragon Ball Z, My Hero Academia, like they're appealing to all of their audience and being like, we know you're gonna be this and buy this. And like you said on the last week's podcast, in terms of like those kind of transactions and buying skins, it's better when it's a third person because you can see what you bought.
Right.
Whereas when you're on Apex, you can't see it. Yeah, exactly. Except for the only thing for Apex, I'd say, is gun skins because you actually can see the gun
skins are pretty cool, but
Call of Duty.
Wouldn't justify paying $20 for just a gun skin though, and that's mostly the case with Apex and fucking EA, is that they think that a gun skin that has special other colored lines than the original skin is worth $20. And I get it. You guys have to make your money. You guys have to keep the servers going. And there's people to pay, not just for the artwork of the gun, but to, to get the coding of the gun in the game. That's a lot of work. $20? $20 though for a skin? That's pretty excessive, bro. I could say that you could make your money tenfold if you just charge $5 for it because even more people would buy it. But that's just my fucking, that's my opinion. I'm just a consumer. What do I know? And it's kind of frustrating too, because how in the actual fuck did EA sign a 10-year contract with Disney after they sold Star Wars, right? After they bought Star Wars, after George Lucas sold it, and we didn't see anything Star Wars oriented in Apex other than fucking charms, other than a stupid ass cosmetic that you can hang on your fucking gun, bro.
You got Pathfinder.
Two of them.
You got a Pathfinder skin.
Nah, get the fuck out of here with that, bro. Make him look like BD1, bro. He already looked like BD1. Make it into fucking R2D2. Or make him into C3PO, bro. It's like, you had so many opportunities to make actual fucking money in a good way, much like Fortnite, and you fucked it up? How does EA actually fuck up making up money? I'm curious. Because they dropped the ball hard on that one. I'm sorry. That gets my blood going because Star Wars, first of all, is Star Wars, I obviously love Star Wars. And then for EA to have the exclusivity rights that they did and then do fuck all with them is beyond me. Beyond me. And Fortnite just dipped its toes in it and it's already come out with more content. I'm sorry.
The worst part is that BD1 skin on Apex. They already released it for exclusive to people when Jedi Fallen Order came out, and it was, I forgot how it was an exclusive, but it was specifically an exclusive. And then they were just like, yeah, so we're giving it for free, and everyone was pissed because we're like, okay, so the skin that we had when Jedi Fallen Order came out is no longer an exclusive because now you're giving it to people for free. What the hell? So I know a lot of people were pissed off about that, even though the skin looks horrible. It's literally just a white robot and a strip.
Yeah, no, it's literally not anything. It looks like one of his default skins, and it's cool because it's in it's Titanfall universe versus Star Wars universe. But we're also talking about the video game universe. Come the fuck on, people.
Speaking of Titanfall, kind of mad that Apex is the reason that Titanfall is not a thing.
Well, so here's the thing, right? There is rumors of supposedly an Apex quote-unquote single player coming to fruition. There has been a couple of teams that are pulled from the Apex team to work on this single player title. And there's no information on it from what is online. Theoretically, though, because if you ask in my fucking opinion, an Apex universe single-player game literally just sounds like Titanfall 3. Just saying.
That is the only thing I'm accepting. Because
how can you do an Apex universe single-player title, but not do Titanfall 3? Because Titanfall universe is is the same universe that Apex was derived from, except 100 years later. Like,
Yeah.
did they fuck up their own lore? Did they forget everything that they created over the last 4 years?
Also, like Titanfall, it shouldn't just be a single player because it was actually a multiplayer game first.
Right. Well,
And
I mean, but Apex is the new multiplayer universe and
I don't
version
want
of that.
Take it back.
I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. I'm sorry.
'Cause, like-
Titanfall is what it is. And here's the thing. Okay, we're gonna go off a little bit off topic, but still on topic, right? Because EA is EA. We all know that. Okay. There's no way to explain it. EA is just EA. Everybody knows what I mean by that.
I thought it was Electronic Arts.
Sir. So essentially, right? To put into perspective, Titanfall 2 came out. It was fun. It was a good game. I liked the single player game, but I got into Titanfall 2 kind of in the later stages of the game life, you know? So I didn't really play multiplayer or anything like that. And then Apex came out. Apex came out like after PUBG. Oh, I'm not finished, buddy. Apex came out when Fortnite was at its peak. You know, PUBG was still trying to sue Fortnite over the whole battle royale mess, and then losing because you can't just copyright a whole genre of games. That's what Dark Souls should have done in that case. You know.
I mean, we wouldn't have Jedi Survivor if that was the case.
Right. Well, it's just like, get over yourself, PUBG. You fucking lost. No one wants to play your mobile game that looks like fucking it runs at 30 FPS anyway. Less than 30 FPS. That's beside the point. Apex comes out because, you know what I mean? They wanted to still stay with the times, you know? Even Call of Duty was like, hey, yo, we have Warzone now, you know? So obviously it would be kind of a stupid idea to not come up with something not only fresh and innovating, because at this point when Apex had come out, battle royales were not necessarily even new to the gaming industry, but everybody was trying to do it right, you know? Everybody's trying to figure out their own niche. And Apex hit the market and it was fucking cool as hell. You had Titanfall movement, but not Titanfall movement. And you had Call of Duty running gun, but not Call of Duty running gun. It was like, whoa, what the fuck is this game? So,
right,
like within the first couple of months, you have millions of players on Apex Legends. Now, pray tell me, at the height of Titanfall 2, do you think that there was millions of players online? Maybe, sure.
Oh yeah.
Here's the thing, though. It died off really quickly. Nobody played Titanfall 2 MP for as long as they're playing Apex Legends.
That's
when
fair.
EA made Apex
the
Legends,
Battle Royale hype.
right? And they weren't even sure it was going to kick off, you know what I mean? Because you had games already doing very well for themselves, like PUBG, Fortnite, Warzone, etc., etc. You know what I mean? This wasn't even before like multiverses and other shit was like developed.
Multiverses. Oh god.
So they, you know, EA and Respawn wanting to take a risk, but not necessarily too much of a risk. For some reason, instead of signing a year or two contract for the servers, signed a 5-year contract for the servers. That is essentially why we have never ever gotten an actual break from the server issues. They've been improved upon, you know what I mean, over the years, and I'll give them props for the fine tuning that they have done, because in my opinion, that's Respawn. You know what I mean? All of that kind of making ends meets and stuff. You know, they have EA's funding and their studios, their servers though. EA can't figure out a server room for anything apparently, because they'd rather outsource that shit. And I get it, you know what I mean? They weren't sure it was going to pop off. POV though, you have literally hundreds of millions of people playing your game within the first year of it coming out, and now all of them are complaining about server issues. Why are there server issues? Because you have hundreds of millions of players trying to play on these servers that aren't built for that. They simply didn't put the money towards in the beginning. They kind of shot themselves in the foot with that, I will say, because they signed that 5-year contract. But I'm also going to say we're coming up on 5 years. So we'll see how it progresses from there. And
maybe you'll get like an Apex 2, just like how they did with Warzone 2.
That's the theory. That is exactly what I was going to bring up. That is that's a big rumor right now. Is not only the Apex single player game, supposedly Titanfall 3, you know,
Hopefully.
is going to come out at the same time that this Apex 2.0 is going to come out. And theoretically, that kind of already has happened because they had revamped everything for season 17 and essentially made they kind of wiped the slate clean. You know, they've revamped ranked, the SBMM, it's changed. They're doing a lot of things that I have anticipation for and I'm really excited for. A lot of creators and Apex players, pros, you know what I mean? They'll have their differing opinions. What do they still play and stream every day? Apex. I know it's a a thing with their income, and because us consumers aren't going to watch anything else if they're playing Hogwarts Legacy, for example. You say Apex Pro playing Hogwarts Legacy, and you're kind of like, well, what the fuck?
It's like, what's going on over here?
Yeah. I was watching Verhoost.
Apex.
I felt so bad one day because this is so off topic, but I was watching Verhoost and he was doing a sponsor stream for Call of Dragons. A lot of people were watching him, but nobody was doing the sponsors. You know what I mean? Nobody was clicking the link and doing it. And I was like, man, you guys support this guy on Apex. You know what I mean? Give him thousands of dollars a stream. And the second that he actually needs to make money because he's not playing Apex or whatever the case may be, and you're not supporting, like, that's a weird flex. You're here, why not? I don't know. It's a weird, like, that's a whole other thing that I don't want to get situation. Into. But I was just like, it was super sad to see like the consumer business model, right, that they've built essentially has come as just plagued the entire gaming industry tenfold from that standpoint. And that kind of like leads into the next topic of Destiny 2, right? A free game where you technically just buy every expansion that you wanted to play. And I feel like that's an okay model if it's done properly, not like D2, D2's had a good idea.
Destiny 2's been doing pretty well. I will give them that.
But I'm not going to spend $120.
How dare you say fuck Fortnite and fuck Destiny? That's rude.
Whoa!
I know. Someone's coming in hot. Apparently, this is a very spicy episode.
Hey, man, we're all about spicy, okay?
I know, right? But no, Destiny. I will say Destiny is doing good. Their first game definitely was way better. I remember the hype of that game, and it was basically like, it's Halo, but you're it's different. It's free roam, and you got all these other things and loot. It was awesome. My problem with Destiny 2, I've talked to my buddy Kai about this, is the pacing. Like when the base game came out, it was just like, hey, here's an exotic item for doing this story quest. Whereas when I remember doing Destiny 1 and grinding the shit out of that game to get an exotic item. And so that's where I kind of was like a little annoyed with Destiny 2. And I finished the campaign and then I lost track of the other expansions. And that was my fault. But from what I hear, they're building a lot more on their lore for Destiny 2. And they actually haven't been too bad with their microtransactions. I will say that. They have them, but they're not dependent on them. They're more cosmetic-wise, just kind of like how everyone else is basically doing it. But you actually can see it. You can see these cosmetics. It goes from third person and then it goes to first person. It's not like, oh, you only have these.
Right.
I'm kind of I want to get back into Destiny 2. I really want to try this new one that they have, the new expansion. But I kind of am hoping that they do a third one so that I can start fresh and be like, all right, I'm going to start it. I'm going to stick with it. The second that a new DLC comes out, I'm buying it, I'm playing it, and not kind of losing out of it. Because I feel like that's where they falter, is if you don't kind of keep up with when these are being launched, you fall behind on the story.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's why, like, I like the concept of a free game, you know what I mean, and then expanding on it further down the road. But then that just plays into the whole selling us a hamburger, but then selling the buns, the ketchup, the mustard, the pickles, the bacon, the cheese, you know what I mean? Anything, literally fucking anything detrimental to the burger itself, you just have to pay extra. Unless you just want the basic ass hamburger patty, you know? You're just
Yeah.
gonna have to, and that's like, and I feel like that's a very touchy subject, you know, because I feel like if it's done well, you know what I mean, I would have no problem with downloading a free game and then spending, you know, $20 or $40 here for a pretty decent sized expansion pack, you know. At the same time, though, they have to they have to depend on not people just downloading the free game and then playing the free part of the game to make their money, you know. So I don't know. As a person who also wants to develop games at some point, it's a very tricky, not necessarily gray area, but like only a few people have tried it, like Destiny 2, and have like successfully pulled it off, I guess, if you want to say that.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, it's
it's
I definitely
just
agree with you on how Destiny is. Um and like
because it plays
with
into
it
the
being
whole paying for like the $60 AAA title and then paying for more expansions onto the title that should have been in the game that you paid $60 for already. And I feel like that's more
one the
acceptable if it's
biggest
free in general. But
the
if
biggest
I
piss
don't know.
off though is Destiny 2 it was a full price game. And
Mm,
so everyone we bought it as a full price game and then they're just like, "Oh, yeah, so remember when you spent like 79.99 Canadian on Destiny 2? Well, it's free. Everyone can play it now." And we're
yeah,
just kind of like sitting here being like, "Well, what the hell?"
that's I don't think
Like
that
that's kind
should.
of scummy.
Yeah, no.
Um
They
and I
should
don't
have
like that
released it
Bungie did that.
on a free to like on a free to pay basis, or even kind of like Overwatch. You know what I mean? Like if you had the first one, you're able to download it for free. If you didn't, you have to pay like $40 or whatever the fuck. That would have been a little bit more acceptable, I think. But damn, I did not know that it was like full price when it
Yep.
first launched. That's kind of a rip.
And so I hope that when Destiny 3 comes out, because I'm sure they will do that eventually, uh, I hope that it's a free to play. And if they do charge full price, I know people are still going to buy it. Knowing myself, I'll probably get it because I'm going to look at it and be like, oh, this looks cool. But I hope if they go back to making it a full price game, that they actually think about what they're doing and keep it that way.
That's
Don't just be
an
like, oh, we're going to make it free to play app and like
right.
2 years later.
I definitely agree with that because it goes into predatory consumership, honestly. And if you you charge somebody, you know what I mean, for however long, and I mean I guess they're technically playing by the rules, you know what I mean, but at the same time, it's fucking scummy. And how are you gonna release a whole ass game for free?
Yeah, and of
Um,
course there are going to be some people like Zarok is going off on Destiny right now. Um, but they're saying that they wouldn't pay $10 for all of Destiny post Taken King. That's their opinion. I personally will still play it. I still play it even now. I have it on my PC. I'm trying to buy the expansions again on my PC so I can um, play it better. Because I can get it on my PS5 and I have all the expansions there, but I have no room on my PS5. So I kind of want to be like, all right, I can just leave it on my computer and not have to worry so much.
right.
Um, and it runs smooth on the PC. Like I quite enjoy playing it as a PC game as opposed to a console game. Um, but yeah, there are going to be people that don't want to spend that money, and it all depends on the situation that you're in and how you feel about the game.
Right. Well, and that's why, like, we'll kind of roll into the next subject from there is, like the newer games that have come out. You know what I mean? They've been a very teeter totter relationship with the developers slash investors, and the consumer base, or just gamers, pros, you know what I mean, content creators. I will say that I believe investors, not even developers, because I feel if you're a game developer, you want everything polished, and I mean, you have a certain vision for your game, and investors come in and say, well, you see, here's the thing, if you don't do it this way, you're not going to get the money. And you won't have shit. You won't have a game at all. So, and that's the unfortunate part, bro, because then you get things like Cyberpunk. Granted, it was,
They fixed themselves a bit.
Well,
after
yes,
a really bad start.
that's
Like
I was about to
really
say.
bad
You got to
start.
think about how the start was, though, because while there's controversy surrounding that the investors rushed it, and that's why it was such a hot garbage launch. The fucking game was in development for 10 actual years. I remember reading about this game in a Game Informer a very long time ago, okay? That's not an exception. It's not like if they were literally trying to make it come out with 2077, that's understandable. That's a little bit more believable.
Like I remember
in a
there
non-joking
being kind of
standpoint.
like some talks about Cyberpunk before even Xbox One came out. I
It
think
was in
like
development for a very long
like there
time.
were these trailer. I remember there was trailers for it, and it was just called Cyberpunk, and nobody really knew about it. And we saw a trailer for it, and it just kind of like faded off into nothing, and everyone forgot about it until talk came up about Cyberpunk 2077. And then people were like, "Oh, right, that was that game that they announced before the Xbox One came out." And CD Projekt Red is a good company. They look at The Witcher. That
I'm not
Witcher just
saying
finished selling 50 million copies.
right.
Yeah, I think a couple days ago.
That's why I think it's 100% the investors saying that they needed to push the game out when they did to keep up with the hype, to kind of to pull controversy. Like I really don't know what the reasoning behind that was, but I 100% am behind the idea that it wasn't CD Projekt Red and that it was definitely the wallet behind it, if you will, the people who were scared for their money, and they have right to be. If you're investing not even hundreds of thousands, but quite literally millions of dollars into a game to be developed, you kind of start to scratch your head and wonder, ayo, what the fuck? when it's going across the 10-year mark in development. That is a head scratcher for sure. Especially in the state that it came out. You know what I mean? It wasn't at all in alpha, even, I'd argue to say. You know what I mean? A game to be that hard into development. And granted, like you said, they've polished it. Looks fucking great now. 10 years of development, though, that's a bit of a stretch, my guy. That's and that goes for a lot of different games too. Is that I don't blame these game developers. I think it's truly the money behind it and consumerism pushing the games to be out because we're impatient fucks.
I wouldn't even say that sometimes, though. I wouldn't even blame 100% the investors. I think sometimes like the game developers just make a broken game or make a game that is just bad. Like I would say we'll bring up Redfall again. I'm not going to say too much on Redfall, but Redfall, they genuinely thought it was going to be good. The fact that Phil Spencer had to like publicly apologize means that they didn't plan on this. Phil Spencer was not going to be like, "Oh yeah, so we're going to push this," and then
improve on it.
Yeah, and then I'm going to prove on this.
No, they thought I feel like they just shit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they thought that it was actually a good game, and then once it came to the people, we're all like, well, what the hell is this? And same thing with Lord of the Rings Gollum. This game was kind of like everyone was kind of iffy on it, and then when it finally released and people played it, they're like, what the hell is this? This is a clunky ass game, and nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted a Gollum Lord of the Rings game. We like Lord of the Rings. All the Lord of the Rings fans were excited for all these Lord of the Rings games, but Gollum is just not a character to make a game about. And for the game developers to kind of think that, hey, let's make a game about Gollum instead of all their other IPs that they could have done for Lord of the Rings is 100% the game developers' fault. and then they had to also publicly apologize for it, and I'm not surprised. Me personally, I've seen some comments that people wanted like the Two Towers and Return of the Kings games like remastered or rebooted. I want Lord of the Rings Conquest. That was pretty cool. That was a fantastic game, and it felt like Battlefront, but it was Lord of the Rings, and you could actually get Balrog on the field and play as Balrog, which was awesome.
So like me and the homies were sitting in a Discord call, and that game came up, Lord of the Rings Conquest, and I looked it up, and the reason why it felt like Battlefront, right, is because it was fucking developed by Electronic Arts and Pandemic Studios, bro. I was like, dude, no way that they just made Lord of the Rings Battlefront 3. That's where the money went for Battlefront 3. Right there.
Dude, they're sitting at this round table, guys, like, what if we made a Lord of the Rings Battlefront game? And everyone's just like, holy shit, I never thought about that. That's an awesome idea. Let's do it. And then a work of art was created.
Fucking the lead developer. Alright, so Battlefront, but like Lord of the Rings, bro. Everybody with me? And everybody's like, yes! No, I'm just kidding. That's more of like a 90s sitcom producer, you know? I don't think... Hell, maybe game developers do yay, and they're fucking... Maybe that's why we get some really crackpot ideas.
That I clipped that for you.
100% thank you.
You know that's going on the gram and the TikTok and the YouTube shorts and all the shit.
Bro, I swear to God, the only reason I'll go viral is from being a dumbass, okay? And I'm fine with that. I am okay with it.
Honestly, that is the best way to do it. Just be yourself. I'm not saying you're a dumbass, but be yourself.
Dude, it's okay. It's alright, bro. We're not friends if you don't call me a dumbass, bro.
Right?
So that kind of... It doesn't segue into the next topic, which is like competitive leagues or pro players. This is kind of more on a standpoint of like of them directing games like Apex. And I really haven't played Fortnite from the beginning to end like I have Apex, so I don't have much experience or knowledge on that subject to really speak on it. But I will say hardcore in the Apex community, the pros drive what happens to the game tenfold. And I'm not sure if I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? Because the second someone cries about the Sentinel being too hard or too much, the game devs are like, oh, okay, you're right. Let's just, let's take down the damage about 50 or 60. You're right.
I hate that. I honestly... When people complain about that kind of thing,
that's why the Kraber's no longer a one shot. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
It's not a one shot anymore. What?
Oh. Well, it's like
the whole point of that thing being a red weapon was that it was a one shot.
Precisely.
I remember like just chilling, walking around. Next thing, and all he's like, I'm like, I'm dead. Great, cool.
Mm-hmm.
That was a Kraber.
And so the thing with the Kraber nowadays is unless you have better than a white helmet, you're essentially safe. You can literally stand still in an open lobby as long as you have a blue, purple, gold helmet. You know what I mean?
That's ridiculous.
And be semi-okay, because it only does, 280 damage on a headshot? So if their teammates are also looking at you with a sniper or whatever the fuck, like an R301 with a 2-4, you're probably fucked because you're going to get 3-2-1'd. But the Kraber is no longer one shot, and it's because everybody was complaining about it in ranked and as well as the ALGS. Fun fact, they actually wanted the Kraber to be taken out of ranked because it was an unfair advantage to the person holding it. How? You have to hit your shots, kid.
Yeah. And honestly, I feel like they should, if they're reducing the damage, they need to increase the clip size. Instead of being, okay, one shot, and then, like, doing that whole animation to cock it. Like, there needs to be something. Because, like, you can't just lower the damage and not do... like something about the gun, because then that defeats the whole purpose of what that weapon is.
Yeah, and I'll admit, like, it was kind of, I wouldn't even say it was annoying, bro. I think the charge rifle was more annoying than a Kraber, you know?
That thing was a beam.
If you're...
Like, that thing
it still is. This is the thing with the charge rifle. It's the only sniper non-energy weapon that doesn't have fucking bullet drop, and you can actively fucking literally beam a person from across the map. That's why hackers use it so much, because you can literally just farm damage with your 4K badge.
I
So
also feel like that should be an energy weapon.
no, yeah, it should be an energy weapon, and it shouldn't. Well, charge rifle pisses me off, bro. Charge
I
rifle pisses
remember
me off.
rocking the charge rifle
That's a
with like the
product.
4 to 8 times scope and just murking everybody, as people would say.
In my opinion, the charge rifle is a product of the pros.
Same
I
thing with
don't
the
know, man.
R301. Is the R301 still like overpowered? Because I remember when I was originally playing, if you had an R301 stacked, you could not be touched. That thing would just melt you.
It's a so here's the state. I will give them props because it feels like everything is semi balanced. Besides the new gun that they came out with, the Nemesis, because the Nemesis seems like it's going to take the place of the R301
Is
as
that the burst energy gun?
everybody's rocking it. It's kind of like the Devotion had a baby with the Havoc, who also had a baby with the R301. It's so
Oh.
weird, bro. Because like it's an energy weapon and it's burst, right? But
I
when
remember
you
using
keep
it,
shooting
and
it,
it was nice.
yeah, it speeds up as you keep shooting it. And if you keep that 100% speed boost, it's straight up like an R301. And it does like, if you're aiming and you hit every shot, it does 400 to 500 damage at the end of the clip. You know what I mean? So it's absolutely fucking goated. And in my opinion, it's probably going to take the place of the R301. That being said, though, I feel like every other gun has a chance to outshoot or outplay the Nemesis. But if you're, as with any gun, if you're going up against somebody who knows how to use it and who's perfected the recoil and can just straight beam you, you're not going to stand a chance because it's too OP. It does like, I forgot how much damage, but it does like 20 damage at least per shot. And that's fucked.
Yeah, it's
But as far as like the state of competitive or just like the guns or even the legends, like there's the meta per se, but they've veered away from having a meta, in my opinion. You know what I mean? I feel like you
in
can
terms of
jump
like
into
the
a game.
Legends abilities.
Right. Not just that, but like the guns that you rock, you know what I mean? Of course, barring the Nemesis from that, it doesn't really matter what gun you pick up, who you choose to play. If you know how to use the gun, or if you know how to use the legend, you know, you're gonna do well. There's not. I will say that some legends are stronger than others, and that are definitely better to play. But it's all situational, in my opinion, and that's for a battle royale game that has taken 4.5 years to get to this point. I'm a stand back because they, you know, besides the pros making their comments on how broke the ranked system is, and they do need to make some tweaks on that part. But I don't know. That's just my opinion on the pros driving the games nowadays. More rather Apex, because that's the only game that I've really noticed on my end, because that's the only game that I play where pros kind of have that high shadow. Yeah, where's my controversial polar bear? Right, I love Pepsi, but
He's like, hello. Welcome, I am the surprised guest star. I don't know why I'm talking like this, but I am.
I fucking can't. Oh man, but it kind of leads into the next like subject, because competitive leagues, single player versus multiplayer games.
Single player.
Oh yeah, I love single player narratives.
Single player any day. Multiplayer, it's fun for a little bit, but single player, you get that story, and you actually see the amount of work that a developer puts into a game when you play a single player game. When you play multiplayer, I don't care what people say, they're going to be like, oh, well, you could really see that on the multiplayer side. Not really, because you're constantly complaining about everything in that multiplayer. You're complaining a game, like you were saying, a gun isn't balanced, or they made a change to a map, or they released a map and you're not happy with it.
Slide canceling, it's canceled.
Yeah. the run slide from Warzone, yeah. And it's just like everyone complains. Whereas like the story game, you get that's like, I don't know. you wonder why single player games are game of the year. It's because they actually do good, and it's what people want. We want a good story. Elden Ring has the most rich story lore you could imagine.
Still surprised as to how God of War had 14 nominations, but Elden Ring had 7, and
what was
still
that?
won Game. It was me having 4 hours of sleep and waking up to call your ass. Okay.
I was on a good snooze on the couch. Little known fact. So
I actually had to wake this motherfucker up today, guys. It wasn't me this time.
I had to wake him up, and we had to reschedule this whole shit. And then today, he woke me up out of a freaking wonderful snooze because I'm coming down with a cold, of course. And I was passed out on the couch. Raven was by my legs. It was wonderful. I was in a nice bliss sleep, and then this guy
sudden, boom, boom,
starts calling me.
Boom, boom, boom.
Here we are now.
Hey, we didn't have to reschedule.
We didn't.
Let's go.
But yeah, so like with God of War, I don't know. I think it's because there's so much lore on Elden Ring. Hell, there's even a manga now about Elden Ring. When I was at the bookstore, I found a manga of it. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
It definitely blew up, and I feel like a lot of people on Twitch or just the creator community in general, right, was covering Elden Ring, like just nothing but Elden Ring, bro. Like you saw, it was everywhere, man. I would say the only other thing that I'd saw go that like everywhere was Hogwarts Legacy and Star Wars Jedi Survivor. And even then, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, there weren't like too many people playing it. It was just like the people you would obviously expect to be playing it. You know, the Star Wars nerds, all the smaller creators trying to hop on the hype train, all that shit. Then Hogwarts Legacy boasted record-breaking numbers of viewers on Twitch as a category.
Oh, I refused to stream that game because there were so many people. Because I'm like, okay, well, you little shadow, you bitch, you are supposed to stay.
He's going to the Shadow Realm. Sorry.
You're just gonna see skin from now on until I decide I want to hold him again. But yeah, because there's so many people on Twitch, and for me, if there's a lot of people streaming that game, I don't want to stream it.
Well, yeah, because that's going a couple episodes back into the content creator and
how to build yourself.
They literally suggest to Twitch, right? They literally suggest to start in a category that's not oversaturated to where you can actually have your discoverability be there. You know what I mean? You're not just going to get lost in the sauce of thousands of creators and even bigger creators that are streaming the same game that you are. It sucks because you may want to play that game, but you're not going to have any people in your chat, and that's fine. You know what I mean? If you're not doing it to have thousands of people in your chat, you know what I mean? That's fine. And obviously that's where you should start as a creator. You know what I mean? You should never expect to stream your first day and then blow up to making thousands of dollars or becoming the next PewDiePie. It's just not. It's very rare for one thing, and it's not realistic to think that way.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to do. That's also why I didn't stream Jedi Fallen or Jedi Survivor. I streamed maybe the first like hour of it, and then after that,
gotta make the playthrough.
That's the thing. I would rather make a playthrough after I beat it. Like what you're doing is perfect because you're doing your playthrough after the game has already been out for a while. And so like
I'm
for
also
me,
taking a step back from streaming to focus on that content too. Because I know I don't have a schedule for streaming, you know, and I still want to put out content for people and still.
Yeah, and that's way better and way more organized. And just like with when Spider-Man 2 comes out, I'll stream maybe the first hour of it, but then I'm going to be playing it off stream. I want to actually enjoy the story of the game. And then once I'm done, because I know I'm going to play the story again, that's when I will be basically I'll probably do a walkthrough for it. And
I'm very conflicted.
On the side, yeah, like because I want to be so focused into it, and I know if I stream it, I'm going to be distracted, and it's not a bad thing to be distracted with the audience, but I want to have my full attention on this game because I love Spider-Man so much. He's my favorite Marvel hero, and he's my first tattoo. The
That
yin
is
and
pretty
yang,
sick.
but Spider-Man and Venom.
That is pretty
Um,
hard.
So this game is going to have my 100% attention, just like how Star Wars did. And yeah, that's the joy of single-player games. Coming back to why we're talking about this, is to have a game that wants people to play it so much, and it has you
Mirage.
so excited.
So
And then you've
fucking
got
hyped.
Mirage. You've got Legend of Zelda. Look at Zelda. Like,
Sold how many
like-
copies? Like 50 million, 10 million within the first weekend?
So much.
Within the first weekend? That's pretty insane, bro.
It's
I'm not a
crazy,
Zelda
and-
fan, but yo, I know not to call him Zelda.
I don't mind Zelda. Like, I haven't played a lot of the Zelda games. I played Wind Waker, but I've never actually beaten a Zelda game. I've played them, but I've never beaten them. And
Not
so
even Breath of the Wild?
not even Breath of the Wild.
Damn.
So I'll be playing through Tears of the Kingdom, and I'm actually really enjoying it. It's hard because I'm not used to that kind of game, but it's nice. It's a nice breath of fresh air,
Mm-hmm.
I guess you would say.
So this is still within
it's a
the
Breath of the
subject,
Wild.
but it's a
And
Breath
it
of the
brings
Wild.
tears to this kingdom.
I can't. No, no, no. Get dad jokes out of here. Now. Boom. Oh man. I definitely would it's like I have an Apex addiction, man. Like it's no secret that I can't stop talking about Apex, Star Wars, or Assassin's Creed to save my fucking life.
I was gonna say, I mean, like we've been talking about Apex for quite a while throughout this podcast, so yeah.
I think I know what I'm gonna do after this episode is all I can say.
I think after this episode, you should play Fortnite with me. You mean
We'll see. I definitely I stayed up for a very valid reason and then didn't even accomplish the reason I stayed up. So
That's true.
I've been considering recently on whether I should restart my Ghost of Tsushima stream, mainly because I know this is
beautiful.
well, yeah, it was beautiful, and I wanted to reset my challenges. I wanted to get re-immersed into the gameplay because I noticed I was stressing myself out about that. And single player games shouldn't. They should be hard, right? Like Ghost of Tsushima, Elden Ring, Dark Souls 3, all those games go in the same category of fuck, they're frustrating, but god damn it, I want to play it again. So like on that subject, I really want to fucking play it again, and you might see that. I'm gonna just say that.
I'll keep an eye open.
One-
I slurred that entire sentence, but I will keep my eye open for that stream.
We are both winging it for speech today, buddy.
Oh, it's brutal. You're saying some weird high pitched tones. I'm like,
so I'll kind of bring up Assassin's Creed Mirage and how Gonzo, I streamed yesterday, and I went into his stream, and he of course gave a shout out to the podcast.
the Nerd&Weeb.
He called
Yeah.
you the dweeb.
Yeah.
He called you the
I know.
dweeb.
That's hurtful. Okay, it's Weeb. WEEB. I was about to say D, but B. Okay.
So now you know Gonzo. But but he was also, he'd said that he's watching the Assassin's Creed. He really wants me to like get back into that. And then he asked if I'm playing Mirage or streaming Mirage on release date. And my heart broke, bro. I'm like, fuck. I really do want to. But first off, the hype behind it, right? There's going to be a lot of other creators surrounding it, and that's fine. You know what I mean? Assassin's Creed, it's like, I'm not, you know what I mean? I don't give a frick what Twitch says, okay? Words are hard. We're going to ignore that.
I also feel like people know that you're a big fan of Assassin's Creed,
Right.
and they're gonna come watch you.
I meant to say
Also,
weeb. What's up, Gonzo?
Is there- Mr.
Well,
Gonzo.
see, that's why I'm very conflicted, and like part of me really wants to grind out the rest of the series to get the playthroughs done in chronological order, and stay up with the hype when Mirage comes out. You know, do a little unboxing video of my collector's edition just to see.
I'm not
You
gonna lie,
know,
I might buy that too.
well, you know, after our last podcast talking about those, which you get within the exclusives and whatnot, and it's not even overpriced in my opinion. I was gonna say that overpriced, but it's not even overpriced in my opinion, like at all.
No, it's
$150,
fairly priced.
you get all of that shit and a Steelbook Gold edition of the game. Like that's
I was looking at
Oh
the
my
price
God.
of the game itself, like without the collector's edition.
$79.99
Yeah.
US.
Wait, 79.
I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure game developers are going towards a $70 game model.
Hold up, because it's 69 in Canadian, and we're always $10 higher than you.
Then it's probably still $60. Not a lot of games have tried to go through that model, but the newer Call of Duty, if I'm not mistaken, is $69.99. And
The newer Call of Duty for me is like $89.99. It's bullshit.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, man. Kind of
Let's see,
crazy.
Assassin's Creed Mirage PS5. Yeah, it's 69.99
for the base. Then it's probably still $59.99.
I missed that because that was the original price of fucking games. And then we went to 79, and then we went to 89, and I'm scared that we're gonna hit 99 at one point.
Yeah, how the fuck are we gonna get charged $100 for a base game, bro? That's a quarter of my rent. That's actually like currently as it stands, that is half my rent. Fun fact, you know what I mean? That's
and like I know we didn't have this as a topic on our list, but I feel like this is another thing we need to talk about.
Game prices, yes. How did we not fucking talk about this? Yeah,
I don't know. Just looking at this now, like Assassin's Creed Mirage, the fact that it's $69.99, I have mad respect for, because games used to be $59.99 Canadian. I don't think they've ever been $49. I feel like $59 was like that, like medium price point that they had, and then just as each generation went up, it kept going higher. And then that's one problem I also have with Zelda. That game is $89.99. How are you going to tell me a Nintendo Switch game that this console has not had an upgrade since it was released? It had an OLED screen, but that doesn't improve its general like mechanics.
Performances, yeah.
But how are you going to tell me that this Nintendo Switch game, you're going to charge me $89.99 when all other Switch games are $79.99? Like, that's insane. That just shouldn't be a thing. The reason that next-gen console or next-gen games are $89 is because they're next-gen and they have so much work put into the games. But if you're just throwing up these prices just because, then that's an issue.
Nah,
at least there's a reason why these games are going higher is because so much more time is being put in these games. But then you look at games like Gollum and Redfall and so many other games, like or even Gotham Knights. Like all these games, they're $89.99 or $79.99, and they're putting
broken as fuck. Or
they're broken buggy, or they don't run up to the standard of what that console can do at the time. Like Gotham Knights released at 4K 30 frames per second, capped. Redfall, same thing. Released at 4K, 30 frames, capped, not 60.
Like
when the Xbox One X came out last gen, it was able to run 60 frames per second. When the PS4 Pro came out, it was able to run 60 frames per second.
Gang, rise up.
How are you gonna tell me a PS5 game or an Xbox Series X game is released and it can only run 30 frames per second? There's an issue when those kind of games are released and they're still charged that amount of money.
Yeah.
When they're because I even saw a new article that most PS5 players, like more than half of us, are using performance mode. We prefer performance mode over resolution, and that's very well like done, because that's why we're buying these next gen consoles, is for performance.
Mm-hmm.
We already know these games are going to have good graphics. We don't really care about that. We care about how smooth it runs.
That's why I'm more like, whenever a new single player narrative comes out, like Star Wars Jedi Survivor or God of War, you know what I mean? I'm more tempted to buy it on the PC because it's going to be, probably a longer wait for the PC port, but they're already going to have it smoother, optimized, and freshly polished. rather than the initial release on a, like you said, 30 frames capped system, or a system that can't even handle the full potential of the game in general, like Cyberpunk. That's a
Yeah.
game that very much comes to mind, where
It should have been next gen.
the PC version versus even the next gen console is just very, very vastly different. The introduction of DLSS 3, ray trace, not even ray tracing anymore, but fucking what is the new, I'm pretty sure it has something to do with fucking DLSS 3, and it's like way more advanced than ray tracing, and it has something to do, I'm not very technical. I fucking had 4 hours of sleep, so I have no clue what the fuck I'm trying to say here. But there's a lot more optimization and like upgrades, for lack of a better term, that you could do performance wise, graphics wise, quality of life wise on a PC, and you could still play on a controller. You're not even limited to fucking janky ass mouse gameplay. Like, I know I like playing Jedi Survivor on a controller as opposed to my Assassin's Creed series, for example, that I play mainly on M and K. Like,
Right.
you can't really do that with a console, and fuck, I don't know, man. I feel like I've definitely been converted into the PC guy that I did not think I was going to become.
But it's because you're getting what you pay for.
Right.
You're paying this amount of money for a game, but you're actually able to run it way better than what a normal console could do.
Yeah, and while Jedi Survivor had a rocky start, after that big, like, massive update / patch they had within like the first 2 weeks of it releasing,
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure it was like
really
within the
smooth.
first week that they released that thing, which is really well.
Well, yeah,
Whereas
you don't want to
you
have
see
another
game-
you don't want to have another situation like the game we keep mentioning.
Yeah. Well, like, not even Redfall, but like also Forspoken, PS5 exclusive. I'm gonna start trashing this game as well.
Ooh.
I was very excited about this game, and it was basically, you're this girl, you get transported into this magical world, and you have this bracelet attached to you, and you have powers. The graphics of this trail, like from the trailer, looked phenomenal. Square Enix made it, and it was like, okay, cool. You guys did Final Fantasy. You're good at these graphics. You're good at gameplay mechanics. I'm excited for this. The game demo released. I played it. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I was like, you guys, you watchdogged us. You show us this nicely polished game, and then you go and play it, and its graphics are just downgraded. I'm sorry, I opened that wound. But and it also runs at 30 frames, and even when you put it on for performance, it says 30 or it says 60, and it doesn't run that well. What's wrong? What happened?
Watch Dogs.
Oh, yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah, I was like, oh god, I heard the Discord go bloop bloop. I'm like, oh god, what happened to the Discord? But it's just gone, so I'm joining in.
Watch Dogs.
That game was fantastic, but like, it's just that was brutal. It was a really rocky time. And don't even get me started on Watch Dogs Legion. I bought that game and I was like, this is mediocre at best. Same with the second one. Second one was better than the third one for sure. But I enjoyed the first one's story. As simple as it was, I liked that vigilante vibe to it. Oh, you bought the Ultimate Edition too.
Really
How
cool
much
case.
How much does that sting, though? That you spent that extra money on that game. Speaking of prices of games and quality of them.
I really don't want to talk about it. mainly because, like, this game had my attention and I bought it specifically because I wanted to play it with Samage on YouTube. Like, we've had plans for co-op streams and co-op content, and life always it not only finds a way, but it has its complications too. You know what I mean? We never got the coordination or timing down, and that's actually why I'd started doing Assassin's Creed just out of the blue on YouTube. So I had that planned for the better part of a year and a half, possibly 2. I just wanted to play it with him. I wanted to do a co-op series, and the that's a whole other thing. But um, damn it, man, damn. I wanted to. That was one of the games that we were gonna play, and so I fucking snatched it up real quick because I loved Watch Dogs 2. I played through it. I really enjoyed it. I played through Watch Dogs. Like, we both played Watch Dogs 1 when I had GameFly. If you remember that name.
Gamefly.
Yeah.
I do not remember that.
GameFly is essentially Netflix for gamers, where you can
Okay.
rent games, or you subscribe to this monthly service and you can order games that get sent to your house. You borrow it for like a week or whatever. You send it back to them. New game comes in. Super goated. And like, yes, that is how Netflix did work at one point in time. You youngins, you fucking children. Yeah.
That's how Blockbuster worked. Okay.
That is how old we are. All right.
I remember back in the day when we had Blockbuster on Rogers Video.
And Hollywood videos on every corner of the street.
Yep.
But,
Oh God. Oh wow, that was loud.
sorry, I'm gonna share my screen. I meant to say that.
No,
before I
it
started
wasn't
sharing my
even you. It was I had your stream tabbed, and I guess it decided after the ad it was going to be unmuted.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah. And I guess now onto our next topic, which is VR, because I know
VR.
you were very excited about this contraption.
I have seen it for years. I have seen multiple prototypes. I've seen things that look very fucking cool in terms of VR technology, right? But this is a whole fucking new level, okay? So it's like, as it says, the future of gaming is here. You could walk and run 360 degrees inside the VR worlds or games. And essentially, as it's showing here in this little preview, is it's strapped to your back and runs on a pivotal system, on a
I'm also
rotational
curious
platform.
on like the way he's walking and running. That is not how you walk and run normally.
No, I would assume
Like, also, what headset is he using?
it looks like a Quest 2.
Nope, because it has that black beam under it. It might be a Rift,
Oh, you're right.
just a
You're
white
right.
version of the Rift.
See, and that's like
Yes.
one of the things that I had a problem with this too, is that with this setup, you would almost have to have your PC suspended above you in order for you to have full mobility, and without
That
you
would stress me out.
Right, because now you're worried. Now you're not worried about ripping plugs like out of your PC, but now you're worried about the fucking PC drop on your head, And I'm sure that there's like ways to configure that. Maybe the cords going to the bottom. I don't know. I haven't really done too much research, and it is still in like prototype. They're setting out beta versions to their investors right now. So that's how early in development this is, or rather.
Wait, scroll up. Let's see what the controller. Right, yeah, right there. Yeah, that's a totally different. That's not even an Oculus.
Right. No,
Because
that's definitely
the way the circle is of the controller, like the guard, it's too extended up
Mm-hmm.
for it to be anything like that.
Yeah, I feel like with the Rift, even it's more frontal to the controller in reference
Yeah.
to the actual Joy-Con, whatever. Yeah, something like this, though. You know what I mean? Or I don't know if you guys have seen American Dad, where he goes and visits his half brother, and they live on the Native American reservation, and they end up being rich as fuck because they have oil on their land. And the kid, right? He has this huge room that turns into like a virtual reality world, and he uses his body as like the controller, And I think like that is the embodiment, or like the epitome of VR. You know what I mean? Where you don't have to map out your room so you don't crash into your TV or anything. It's like the whole room is the TV. That's what I strive for, and I think that these things right here are very exciting for people like me, as well as just the VR community in general.
So I will tell you Nice little story of the day that Baz played Oculus Quest 2, where you had no wires or cords. It was just the headset you put on your face.
Quest 2 is
So,
pretty fire.
it was a nice little dawny day. It wasn't dark, it was just dawn. I was playing VR chat. I was chilling with my buddies. We were going into this world it was like a horror world, and you have this anime creepy girl chasing you. And she's just walking, not chasing. And all you hear is la da 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 kind of thing. And if she gets too close, she will like lunge at you. And so you have to collect all these teddy bears in the area. And what ended up happening was we went into the subway, into that map, and we thought we saw her, and then it ended up being fake. And all I hear is and I'm like, what the fuck is that? I turned over to my left, and she was right in my face and lunged at me. Didn't I like turn and physically run straight instead of using the controllers to run? I physically ran straight and hit my arm onto the counter and dropped to the ground, freaking the fuck out. Because I was like, oh god, it was so painful. My arm hurt so much, and my headset fell off, and all my buddies saw was my avatar run and then just drop to the ground.
See, and I really, really wish that my friend had recorded when I played Video Immortal. I need water and a nap after this, my friend.
That's what I have right here.
Fuck. No. So, Vader Immortal is like one of the first games that I'd played. I think on the homies Quest 2. I had another friend who had a Rift S and a computer built specifically for VR. That I played hot dogs and hand grenades on, and that's a pretty fun game. That's one of the games where you have like any and all weapons at your disposal, and you can actually like take out the mag, throw the mag up, catch it, throw it in your gun. Like, it was super cool to learn the physics in that game. But then Invader Immortal, bro. That game knocked me on my ass. Quite literally knocked me on my ass, because like you had blaster bolts and shit going on you, and like you could dodge them. You know what I mean? You could physically
really
dodge them.
With that game.
Yeah, bro. It's like it immerses you so much that like you forget where the fuck you are. I fell so many times, bro, or ran into something, and the homie was like, "Yo, you're about to hit your bong," and I was like, where is it? Get me away from it. I don't want to crack my bong open because I'm trying to be a fucking Jedi right now, okay? Or a Sith Lord, that's because I know what Vader Immortal's about. No. But oh man, it's very innovating times, and very, very, very weird times. And all I can really say is we'll see. We'll see what comes to not just the gaming industry, but VR and these titles. I'm actually really excited to see games like Arma 3, in VR. That would be super fucking goated. I'm pretty sure you can already play Arma 3 in VR. I'm not entirely positive, but
Pavlov, which I believe is like
similar
their equivalent
to
of Arma.
Yeah.
There's Pavlov, and then there's fuck, I had it. It's some other army game. It's actually really fun. But yeah, there is some army games. When you said Arma, you kind of like reminded me of a new game that is coming out, but it's not VR. Armored Core.
Okay, you have piqued my interest.
I love a good mech game, and Armored Core is like the mech game series. And it's coming out. And I believe it's coming out either the summer or it's coming out like this fall. But if you ever want to be in a big ass robot blowing shit up, that's the game. You're searching it right now, aren't you?
Maybe.
I'm also debating getting Street Fighter 6 on Friday.
See, and I'm just kind of waiting for Mortal Kombat 1.
Because like I played the demo and it seemed pretty cool. Like it was pretty cool, and like I need a new fighting game. Mortal Kombat's fun, but it's until Mortal Kombat 1 comes out, I have no other fighting game really to play other than Demon Slayer.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just gonna wait till Mortal Kombat comes out. I'm Street Fighter's okay, but I've never really unless I went to the arcade and then tried to beat someone's ass, you won't catch me playing Street Fighter, unfortunately.
That's fair.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Oh, August 25th it comes out.
Nice.
I believe that's Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon.
Yeah, six.
If my Roman numerals are correct, that is 6.
It's VI.
So is that 5 or 6?
VI is 6.
Okay, because V is 5.
IV is
And then-
4, V is 5, VI is 6, and so on and so forth.
The thing is, I relate to Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back. That's how I determine what is 4, 5, 6.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. We've
Yeah.
lost him, folks.
I'm not going anywhere.
Oh man. Well, we've kind of run our course for the time today. Surprisingly.
We have. Oh, wait. I have one more thing to add on pricing of games because I'm looking at it right now.
Okay.
So, Diablo 6,
Diablo
fantastic game. Sorry, yes, 4.
It's like, hold on, buddy. We're jumping the gun. You got to go through the first two games.
We were just talking about Roman numerals, and I'm looking at it. Diablo 4 is coming out June 6th. I'm excited for it. I want to get it. I'm looking on this website. Can you guess how much it is Canadian?
I'm assuming $89.99.
It is $94.99.
What the fuck? The base game is What?
The base game is $94.99.
No demon edition, nothing,
Nope.
bro. Like,
They also have a season pass. They're doing a battle pass.
well, yeah, it's Diablo. They're gonna have expansion packs for sure that add new.
Oh no, not
heroes,
expansion packs.
new places.
Like battle pass, like how Fortnite and Apex does it. Yeah. So they're doing that. Plus they have the balls to charge $94.99 for a PS5 version. And it'll just be PS5 version, next gen stuff, right? No, I go to PS4, $94.99. But if I go onto the digital store on PlayStation, it's $89.99. So just because I want a physical copy, I have to spend $94.99.
Just
on
because you want the extra $5 in hardware, they're gonna charge you another $20 fucking dollars.
And probably when I get that case, it's just going to be a case and a disc.
That's what's so stupid about it too, bro. They want to charge cheaper for the digital and act like it's that much more expensive to produce hard copies. Maybe nowadays because digital is so common and a lot of people will just have digital pre-orders. But in my opinion, nothing
Digital needs to be not like they shouldn't be putting it higher as like the physical copy shouldn't be $94.99. The physical copy should be $89.99. Digital should be $79.99. That's how they should be doing it.
should be cheaper, but
Baby steps. Corporations are greedy, but like that should at least be what they should be looking at instead of
Right.
being like, oh yeah, if you want a physical copy, $89.99. You want a digital copy, $89.99. Okay, then what's stopping me from going and getting it digital and playing it at 12 o'clock right when it comes out, as opposed to getting the physical case?
right.
Like,
Well, and
there's no incentive.
yeah. That's just sad, bro. It's truly
Yeah.
sad because like one of the incentives to not only pre-ordering but getting a physical copy was that GameStop would hand you like some fucking dope ass exclusive poster
Yeah.
or
But now that
Um,
also
couple
happens
of-
on the digital store too.
can't get a poster from the digital store, my guy.
Oh no, not poster, but like in-game items. Usually when it's an in-game item.
We are both going to sleep after this.
Yeah, I'm honestly going back on the couch. I'm gonna watch Harley Quinn because that show is actually fantastic. If you haven't already, go on Netflix and watch Harley Quinn. Or if you're in the States, go on HBO Max because apparently Canadians don't have it. But
Interesting.
fantastic show. It's rated R and it's awesome. A lot of swearing, blood, comedy.
Oh man, I
Yeah. I'm gonna be lying on the couch watching that until I pass out, and then maybe play Alan Wake.
See, and I say I'm gonna go to sleep or take a nap, but in reality, I'm probably gonna hop on the Minecraft server.
Yeah, you're gonna be
And
sitting your ass on that chair, trying to figure out your Minecraft server. I already know it. I know you're gonna say you're gonna go to bed, but I gotta look on Discord and I'm gonna see Dawn Minecraft.
I got my 3 hours of sleep, boy. I'm ready. my 4 day staycation started last night. Bro.
Add like 4 more
Big
hours
chillin'.
to that. Okay.
But that's how much sleep you got?
No. I said that's what you need.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll sleep when I.
Just face plant onto the desk.
Well, in all reality, though, if you can handle it, this isn't necessarily pertain to gaming industries or anything like that, but coming from a content creating standpoint and just trying to get your own business going, because I'm also trying to do that, on top of content creation, which is in itself a business trying to get itself going, I will fully dedicate the time that I would be sleeping to working on, these things. Like last night, we stayed up till fucking 1, 2 in the morning, setting up that Discord. That was absolutely non-existent yesterday. Like this time yesterday was not around. Literally even 12 hours ago.
And working on this.
Yeah. So, first off, obviously thank you all for being fucking goated, for being here, for listening to this if you're on Spotify. I
apologize for his loud voice for all our audio listeners.
Yeah, motherfucker, turn my voice down. What the hell?
I did. If you look later on, you'll see my cursor go over your face and just like lower your volume from 200% to like 140, and then you made a loud noise. I'm like, okay, 90, and I'm like, wait, no, 101.
So it's funny because we'd said after the third episode that we did after was technical difficulties, or the second episode, we'd said we'd fine tune everything, we weren't gonna have any issues, and so the audio issues, and you know what I did, Baz? You know what I did?
Yep.
I didn't start recording when we started streaming. I'm recording now. Recording now, motherfucker.
I would say I was ready for that virtual backhand. Like, I swear, if I have to send you my recording again this week.
No, but here's the thing.
What?
You're still gonna have to send me your recording.
What'd you do?
Because I didn't record our intro. I missed the first topic of us. Yeah, I know. But hey. I had to call you. God. I had to call you this week, motherfuckers. So,
but wait. We didn't have to reschedule.
You're right. I'm fucking proud of that. Let's go. Round of applause, everybody. Wednesday episode. Wow. We only rescheduled once though. Yeah. So every Wednesday we're doing this. Essentially, what I was trying to say, guys, is. We put a lot of hard work-ish, question mark? We put a lot of work into this.
We're still trying to figure out our niche.
Right. We definitely appreciate you bearing with us through all of the wackiness.
We love all the support that you guys are giving us, and
you're just
we want to hear what you guys have in mind. Like, if you have any topics, let us know. We have our Discord. We will be putting that into the description below, and we hope to chat with you too. We'll be up and active in the chat. We have a bunch of tabs, discussions, nerdy things, weeby things, questions and answers. We actually have some people already talking in the weeby things Discord.
That is fantastic. That's wonderful news.
One person was asking about comic books, and I'm like, is this the right place to talk about it? I'm like, hell yeah, it is. And then another person started talking to them about comic books and giving them suggestions. So we already got some activity going. So
we should add some more sub channels for categories like that. I think maybe that's one
definitely.
thing we'll do.
It's an ever-changing Discord. We're going to be making so many updates to it. It's both me and Don working together.
Make some suggestions, you guys. Make some.
Yeah.
Got a suggestion box. If you see anything or you want to see anything, let us know.
Maybe down the line we'll be doing some exclusive things on Discord, and not on Twitch. We'll be discussing that. We still don't know. But obviously me and Don will be having our professional discussions.
professional.
yeah,
you know.
let
And
us know if you have any other suggestions.
I'm gonna let you
We'd love
guys
to hear
in
from you
on
guys.
something. Okay, when he says professional, all he really means is me taking a hit, getting high as hell, and then we figure shit out in like 10 minutes. Okay,
You forgot a bit. You forgot a bit there. It's you taking a hit, and then all of a sudden you hear.
That's not how I cough. I go harder than that, motherfucker. I go harder, go home. Throw some respect on that name.
and then it goes quiet, but you see him hacking his lungs out. It's just this silent. Yeah, there you go, like that. It's almost like he's getting ready to drop a bass. It's like.
Alright, well, fucking
Oh,
this has
God.
been wacky. This is man, I can't wait to see what we come up with for next week though.
I know. We will have to discuss that after stream and recording. Where'd he go? Oh, yes.
I had to because it's happening this week.
Don has a little announcement on his end.
It's happening this week. Okay, guys?
Yeah.
You see this beautiful fucking thing, okay? I don't know if you notice up there, but it's a Darth Vader's lightsaber, okay? You can win this, okay? We're having a raffle for this. First free ticket is earned by following on any of my 3 socials, okay? So, like, fucking Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, literally any of them, Twitter. I have most, if not all, socials. I'm even on Kick. I don't use Kick, so don't really even try there, unfortunately. But then, of
It
course,
was an attempt and then just kind of pushed it away.
I visited the site once, saw the UI, and logged out. I'm sorry, but it's very similar to Twitch, but it's also made by people who are mad at Twitch and like crypto bros. We'll get more into that probably in another episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, yes. So that's the first raffle ticket entry. You know, just follow on any 3 socials, completely free. I'll pay shipping. International based, we'll probably have to work something out because international be expensive.
Which isn't too bad though, because you're still getting a lightsaber.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
You're getting this awesome lightsaber, so it's not too bad to kind of help him out with that.
For you to spend $30 on shipping internationally compared to what I spent on this thing, yeah. I'm not going to reveal that. I will not. You can do your own research.
I've done my research. I know how much that is.
Any real motherfuckers know. You know what I mean? Anybody who's in the lightsaber hobby in general already knows it is a deep dark hole you don't want to go down.
Oh yeah. And as
I'll go down it for you guys.
And with all that in mind, I will be putting Don's Twitch link in the description and also the Discord link where you can also talk to him through our podcast Discord and get the rest of his socials and links through that.
Yes, so you guys are more than welcome.
Make sure you click those and drop him a follow, show him some love. His YouTube channel, I'm also going to put down there, so make sure you subscribe to his YouTube channel. He posts our podcast on his channel as well. We are posting both on our own channels, different perspectives. So each time you watch it, you get a different version of the podcast. Of course, some you don't get the intro, like today. Don?
No, I'm going to have you send that to me so I can edit that on my end and combine the clips. I already have a plan
we'll see
for
my
that.
version on his channel, and then the rest will switch back to his version.
I'm done. I fuck up. But yeah, any and all information without going and dragging this episode out too long, it can be found on my socials. I have spammed the fuck out of my Instagram and Facebook, so if you don't know the rules or don't know anything, I'm sorry, you're sleeping. You really truly are.
So with that in mind, thank you so much for tuning into this week's podcast. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the week. We will see you on the next episode. Make sure you drop a like on both our channels and Spotify and subscribe. We love you all and have a wonderful rest of the day.
Stay legendary, monsters.
And go beyond plus ultra.
Yes. Love it.